Okay, this is homework 2. Remember I said the assignments are woven together, right? This piggybacks on your homework 1. What I want you to do is that I want you to collect a library of 10 examples of each of your designer's work. A library of each designer's work. Ultimately, you're going to give me 30 examples, at least. If you find more than 10, that's fine. You're probably going to say, why 10? I think that's a fair enough amount of research. But if this was a real project, let's say I was given the task, Marco, you're going to research, we're going to design new watches, new digital watches, and we want to create different design languages, and one of them is going to be Bauhaus. So we're going to do these different faces and skins for the watches, and we're going to do Bauhaus for one of the potential skins that they can put on the watch. I'm going to go out and research, I don't know what Bauhaus is. I'm going to go out and research Bauhaus, and I'm just going to find 10 images. Do you think that's enough? It's probably not enough. I think that I would try to create the biggest library that I could within a reasonable amount of time. Maybe I'll dedicate a half hour to an hour just gathering images. And that's called image banking. So there's a term for it. There's image banking. What I'm asking you to do is to create an image bank from your topics that you have begun to solidify. 10 is the minimum. If you decide to share 10, more than 10, great. I'm not going to give you any more points, but I just want to see 10. Now, there is a concern in this assignment. The concern in this assignment is that about the last 10 years, the examples of some of these designers' work has become contaminated. And it's contaminated to the point where design historians, art historians, literally are now saying, man, you can't just go on Google anymore and look up Herb Lubalin and look at an image and say, that's an example of Herb Lubalin's work. That is actually somebody else's work that's inspired by Herb Lubalin. Okay, that's one person. The other person that has a lot of fakes, they're not fakes, it's work inspired by them. It's like somebody said, oh, I really like Saul Bass, I love his style, and I want to make some designs that are like inspired by the Saul Bass aesthetic. So what I'm going to ask you is to make sure that they actually are designs from that designer. How would you do that? How would you you're not going to be able to just go to Google Images and grab it. Yes, how would you do that?
I would personally use like Britannica or a biography website that has examples of it.
That's a great suggestion. Probably look up multiple sources, not just a Google search, cross-reference. In many cases, if they're really a legacy designer, for example, Massimo Vignelli, there are research websites dedicated to him, if not by his estate or people who own his intellectual property or support his intellectual property. So that's another way. Don't just do a Google search. You might want to dig a little deeper and make sure that they are actually examples of their work. Okay, Saul Bass is probably the most notorious one that has just like random stuff, and I like it. I like the inspirational work. It's just not. It's not his, a lot of the stuff on there immediately is not his work. Did you have your hand up? Were you going to say something? Exactly. Yes. Thank you. Check. Just type in their name and see if they have their own website. Thank you for pointing that out. Collect a library of 10 examples of each designer's work. Try to avoid work that looks or is inspired by the designer. I mentioned that already. Make sure they are in fact the designer's work. You should have 30 images total to share. You can put this together in a Word doc and Pages and whatever software you want. I just want a PDF, and you can just write a little header, Massimo Vignelli, and just compile the images, and I'll look at it, I'll count them. If I notice that one of them is really inspired work, I'm not going to make a big deal about it. But if all of them are, I'm going to be like, let's go back. You know what I mean? But that's basically what I would like from you. And I want you to export your file into PDF, and then I want you to submit that document to Canvas. Okay? Straightforward, right? All of these assignments have rubrics. I haven't been showing them. I'm sorry, I haven't done that. But if you read the rubric, this is how I will grade it. And most of my projects I usually have, you didn't do it, you did it to completion, and then it's incomplete, or it's less than incomplete, something like that, or a work in progress. So I usually break down the grades not in a 1 to 10 range, or usually like in fractions of the total. And if, let's say I hit this, and this is my response to you, and you're kind of questioning, why did you do this, Marcus? What are you supposed to do? Should you write your comment here in the assignment after I give you the grade? According to my syllabus, what should you do if you have a concern or a question? Email me. You can write in here, but I think I would definitely email your instructor because that's the way that I'm going to see it. Because if you leave a comment here, it's going to get buried and I'm not going to see it again. The system does not flag me that you left a comment in here for me to evaluate. I just don't know. But if you email me, I will see it. Okay? All right. Okay?